Hey, hold on real quick. Hold on. Pause.
Don't at me. Episode 39. What's up, y'all?
What's happening?
What's going on, guys?
Same old same. Mike Silva here, joined by, always, Chance. Chance, what's happening?
Shit, same old. That nigga Chance, back again, another week. Don't at me.
Pennywise shirt.
Yeah. I think I actually wore this in 37 as well too. So y'all see my rotation. It's only like 2 weeks. You feel me?
Jock in the house. Jock's been busy lately. What's been up, Jock?
I've been busy, man. I've been not on the last couple episodes, and I apologize, but I've been,
You working.
job interviews and a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Let's keep it at that. But I'm back now.
Back with another episode of Don't At Me. So we actually have a couple updates for y'all. I wanted to introduce some Don't At Me swag.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, shiznit.
Don't At Me mask. Look, for everybody viewing on YouTube, you can check it out. For anybody listening, check it out. But you can see here the Don't At Me front. Got the back, and I'll tell you a little bit about this thing here. It is 100% soft neoprene, can be sterilized in the oven or microwave, so you can microwave that shit after every use, and you can machine wash it on the warm cycle up to 140 degrees Fahrenheit. It's reusable. It's lightweight, but at the same time, I think it'll keep the scaries out.
Functional, you know what I'm saying?
We're gonna have a little contest for these. We'll give you guys more details on social media, but I think they're pretty cool. I've worn this one out a couple times. I think it's also ironic that it says "Don't at me" over your face.
That's fly, man. That's fly. You guys don't know what you're missing, so yeah.
Stay tuned though. We're gonna be giving some out, so pay attention, and we'll give you guys more info on where to get those. But let's jump into this week's docket. Kind of a slow news week, nothing too eventful, but we have some things that happened earlier this week, so we're going to just jump right in with this. All right, number one, Kanye announces he is running for president of the United States in 2020. So he actually announced this with a tweet. Go ahead and share this one with you all. I mean, I'm not surprised because he said he was going to do this, but I am surprised. He announced on July 4th, we must now realize the promise of America by trusting God, unifying our vision, and building our future. I am running for president of the United States. American flag emoji. Hashtag 2020 vision.
So you see Elon Musk supporting him, and then Kim,
my
of
full
course,
support,
and
he says.
2 Chainz actually did too. But I just want to say, man, I don't understand why people take Kanye seriously. Like when he,
thank you.
Like he's my man. Don't get me wrong. Like as far as musical and like fashion and shit. But let's just dial it down a little bit. You know what I mean? Let's think about it. He's coming out with an album soon, so I think it's something to do with like promoting it, maybe. You know what I mean? To get kind of like some traction going towards that. And plus, like it's too late for him to actually run, bro. If y'all actually been reading some articles and links and stuff like that, he's like missed the deadline to register like in 6 different states right now. You know what I mean? So it's not realistic,
Man, anyone that took this seriously, like I don't know, y'all need to get like reevaluated or something like that. Because first of all, like you said, Jack, he missed the deadline. One, he's had no campaign at all. Like you just can't tweet you're running for president and like have like no type of platform or anything like that, of that you're running on, anything like that. Like, come on, man. But what's crazy is a lot of people are taking him seriously. Like, I mean, I got into a conversation with this dude named Steve Lyons on Facebook, who apparently I know, but apparently he's some like celebrity or something like that. But I don't know this guy. But yeah, he was like, dude, Kanye, he really could do it. It's like, dude, shut the fuck up, man. It's like, get the fuck out of here. But yeah, that's my take on it, man. I'm tired of like these wrenches being thrown into like our political system, it's kind of sad to see that this is the type of shit that we entertain.
Well, that's the sad thing. You say entertain, and I think people will entertain it. I think if he's serious and there's some way he can get on a ballot or a write-in or something like that, I think he can get a lot of votes, which is not me saying that I believe in him and his abilities as a politician or a person to run the country, but I know and I have faith in the American people to do something crazy like that. I mean, Jack, you were with me on election night in 2016. We were just drinking, just passing the time, not even really paying attention because we didn't think, we're like, well, clearly Clinton's going to win. Yep. And we're watching just like with our mouths dropped, like, wait, what? Are you
we got
serious?
quiet. I remember that. We got quiet.
So, I mean, anything can happen. That's why I'm like, man, I mean, I'm with you on, okay, he doesn't have a platform. He doesn't have a campaign. But the scary thing is he probably won't need one. I think if he just puts out, he's been very, vocal about the church over the last year and a half, 2 years, which is good, great for him. If he gets, that angle and he gets, he gets like the religious folks and gets part of the black vote, hey, boom. But the other thing too, though, part that people don't really consider.
Go ahead, Mike. I already know what you have to say.
What's it gonna take for Biden to win? Mm-hmm. He's got to win the black vote.
People not fucking voting for Kanye.
He needs to win the black vote. Right, Kanye is obviously friends with Trump. He backs him. He wears MAGA hats. I mean, there's a chance he can be a swing vote enough to prevent Biden from winning.
That's exactly what it is.
That's what it's all a ploy for.
That's exactly what it's a ploy for. And anyone that doesn't understand that, like, come on, man. Like, you shouldn't even be able to vote.
But
wait, hold on, wait. Let me finish real quick. For one, we're living this movie right now. We've seen this movie before. Like, that would just be the sequel. If you guys know what I mean. Like, what I mean by that is, like, okay, everyone said, Kanye, he'll go in there with a fresh mind, a fresh cap on things. He's not some politician. Well, guess what, guys? He's going to be in politics. Like, you don't just throw some rando in the highest level of government. You just can't do that. I mean, we did it in 2016, and look where the fuck we are now. So I mean, it's shit like that. Like, people using their celebrity as a platform to like be like, oh, my voice needs to be heard. Like, no, dude. Like, if Kanye was like, I'm running for the mayor of Chicago, I'd be all fucking behind that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because it's levels to this shit. You can't just go in at the highest level of government, man. Like, nah, I'm not going for that shit. Like, for real, anybody coming to me with some Kanye is this, Kanye that, and you talking about him being the president, I'm slap the shit out of you.
Yeah, so like, I get all that. And like I'm saying, like, once again, people have to learn to stop taking shit so seriously and like for gospel. Like when people do shit, especially with Trump, when he says shit, don't take shit seriously. Like, use your brain. We all have brains. We're all somewhat intelligent.
But he's the president, though, bro.
No,
we're supposed to take everything he says seriously. That's what's wrong with this country.
Well, not really, because even with the president, you still want to question things and like don't just follow stuff blindly. I mean, I get what you're saying, but you still want to.
No, you should challenge everything you hear.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you most definitely should, but like, you don't want to challenge everything coming from that person. You want to trust that person to do that job.
I got you somewhat. I got you.
You know what I'm saying?
You can have both what you're saying and what Jock's saying. I don't think they're competing ideas. You know what I mean?
For sure.
But yeah, the whole Kanye thing, man, like, just don't vote for him. Like, I'm one of the biggest Kanye fans. Like, we all are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we like his music.
Huge Kanye fan.
Yeah. don't fall for the trap.
Well, and the other part of that too, his Yeezy label got millions in small business loans. Did you guys hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That came out. That was news today.
Yeezy apparel brand received as much as $5 million in small business loans from the federal government, a new disclosure shows. The fashion line got between $2 million and $5 million from the Trump administration's $660 billion Paycheck Protection Program, according to the SBA. Yeezy, which is prescribed described as a black business on the form, saved 106 jobs with a loan that was approved on April 13th. This disclosure comes just days after West announced a run for president, and after 2 weeks, he confirmed a surprise collab between Yeezy and Gap that sent Gap shares soaring up as much as 43%. Man, we should have got that on Cash App. We should have thought about that, man.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. I was thinking about getting the Gap like months ago, just because like I knew July 4th was coming up, and I was like, yo, they be rocking. No, them in Old Navy, like they used to be rocking them. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I know the year. You have the year on there.
Yeah, hell yeah. I used to rock that 2001 one till like fucking senior year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The hell was live.
You know, I never worked that shit. I couldn't afford that shit. I know Kanye mentioned it too. You know, when he used to work there.
You couldn't afford the Gap.
You said what?
You couldn't afford the Gap. Was the Gap expensive?
Yeah, nigga, like I'm talking about like my own money. I wasn't working in high school like that. You know what I mean?
Well, you know, Old Navy was cheaper. I think Gap was a little bit higher.
Yeah, it was levels. Because even Kanye mentioned it. He was like, you know, when he worked there and he still couldn't afford the shit that he wanted. And, you know, we got expensive taste. You know what I'm saying? So
that is true. Because I'd go in there sometimes thinking the same thing, like, oh, this is Old Navy pricing, and then I'd be like that. What's the little the meme? The dude, the fucking squid, the cat dog. What's the little mouse?
Winslow.
In and out that door, man.
Yeah. Winslow. Hey. The little homie that live on the corner from me that I'll be playing basketball with, he looked just like Winslow, bro. I swear to God, he looked just like. I showed him and all his friends. They started clowning him because I was right.
Yeah, Abercrombie, all that shit.
Shout out Prince, man. That's my nigga.
I couldn't afford that shit until like I get like 18, 19 when I start, you know, actually getting money. Y'all remember Metro Park?
Nah, I ain't used to rock that.
Yeah, there's a store called Metro Park, but yeah, I used to
that little nigga.
I remember Zoomies.
Zoomies too, yeah. Like once
we had a job interview at Zoomies, did not go well. I totally missed this there.
I think we both did.
Yeah.
You and Gary. Gary's cousin, that's what it was.
Yeah. We did the whole Team Ego thing. It's like, oh, so you guys are fooling yourself, huh? We're like, nah, but now I see why that was a mistake.
You guys are fooling yourself.
All right, moving on. We got the NFL in the headlines again. NFL has announced that they plan to play the Black National Anthem. NFL to play Black National Anthem before Week 1 games. That is traditionally known as Lift Every Voice and Sing. Chance, you were talking about this song, man.
Man, I used to smash that shit, you know what I'm saying, the choir and shit at church, you know, in Palestine when I would go. Lift every voice and sing. Man, you know what I'm saying? That shit go hard. But me, it's just pandering. Like come on, you don't got to do that shit. Why do we even sing a national anthem at football games and basketball games and shit like that anyway? Why?
I like that you always call pandering.
Yeah, that is trying.
You always call the pandering card.
Yeah, but it is though. Like, I mean, come on, fam. Like, I don't know, man. Like, it's just weird. It's just weird. Like, it's as much shit as like these companies are doing, or like they think that they're doing for the black community. It's not enough. They still like what we want is like for the police and like fucking like systemic racism. Whenever that shit happens, like for those people to be like held accountable. Like we want the killers of Breonna Taylor, like all that shit. Like we not getting that. They giving us everything, but what it is, it is, I don't know. I didn't watch Cap's workout or whatever, but give Cap another shot. Like, I don't know, give do something else other than give Antonio Brown a shot. Like, I mean, I don't know,
you
man.
You can't really compare them, though.
Yeah, because Antonio Brown kind of just fucked up. But, I don't know, man. Like, it feels like they're just giving us everything except for what, we're asking for. Like, we didn't ask for that shit. Who want to hear? I mean, it depends on who they got singing that motherfucker, too. Like, they better not have Fergie up in that motherfucker singing that shit. You know what I'm saying? or somebody like that, Kelly Clarkson or somebody. Kelly Clarkson got solid though. I fucks with him. She's from Texas too.
I just think that personally they're just trying to appease to us right now because of the climate, of course. But it's like, do you really even like mean the stuff that you're doing?
And like, what is that gonna do?
Yeah, and I don't think they do. Like you said, it needs to be deeper than that. We need to start actually seeing like accountability and action show other than this. And like, it's cool that you guys are like getting rid of some of the monuments in some places, but like once again, they're just trying to piece to us like as of right now. We gotta think about the long run and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
So, I was trying to pull up the song.
I mean, what the NFL could do
about it.
What the NFL could do is do an expansion and give 4 black billionaires a chance to own a team.
And remember, I talked about that. That would be good once we start getting some black.
Like that would be like, I mean, it'd be better for football because you got fucking 4 more teams. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, more teams wouldn't be better though. Honestly,
you have to find a way to.
You have to find a way to break into the
in more markets though.
Nah, man. I mean, you do the economics. It's hard to find a stadium, and I mean, you look at the NBA. There are a lot of people thinking that they should even take away teams. Now, I don't disagree with. Yeah, there needs to be more diversity in ownership, but I don't know that creating more teams is the answer. I mean, you never know. The league is always looking to make more money, but they're already going to recoup so much more by having an extra playoff game and an extra playoff team. Extra playoff game and an extra week of the regular season next year, starting in 2021. Sorry. I'm with you though. I mean, it's complex because what's the answer? You know, what's the solution?
What I do like
change.
Right, yeah. And what I do like that the NFL is doing is they're changing like the name of the Redskins.
The Washington Redskins?
Yes. That's gonna be dope. So I'm excited to see like what new name they have for that, you know.
Well, that's the thing.
Although
confirm that yet, and the people that were in the ownership group are already kind of possibly talking about selling. So,
okay.
But the good thing is though, if you're getting people
2 birds with one
closed-minded
stone
out of the league, that's a net win in my mind.
Exactly. That's a win. To end, with that being said, you kill 2 birds with one stone with what I've been saying. Sell the team to fucking where the majority are black owners. You know, it doesn't have to be like it does, like make it diverse. You know, like make it a team to where like you not only have like say there's 3 fucking owners or whatever, you know, like, you know, the majority, minority, all that shit like that. One guy's like fucking, you know, Dr. Dre, the other guy's like fucking what's that Russell Peters, the Indian comedian dude, you know, like someone like he has big money, you know what I'm saying? I'm just throwing people out there like that. You know, people that are, you know, hip and hot, you know what I'm saying? Like to put them, you know, in the position. So it's like, oh, okay, well now like, okay, well you guys can shut up about us not having black owners. You know what I'm saying? Like that's something that we want to shut up about, you know?
Well, yeah. And I will say, I mean, when the Panthers were looking to sell, there were a lot of people that were tied to that. There were, you know, Jordan, Curry, you know, different names tied to different groups and whatnot. So, I mean, it is good that people are at least getting involved in part of that conversation. Of course, opportunities have to open up. People have to actually want to sell, which is part of it also. But that's why it's complex, you know. But it does – you do need more diversity. The other part of the NFL too, though, is that it's so homogenized when you're just looking at the product on the field. Because everybody's got helmets. All you really see are, you know, tattoos on arms. But you're not really seeing people's faces and their style. And, you know, I mean, they can have different shoes and cleats, but that's not really something that people can buy and just wear every day on the street like a shoe, you know, basketball shoe or something like that. So it is a lot harder for that traditional thinking in football to change. But obviously it needs to change. I think by having different coaches, different ownership, it does create more of that diversity. But, you know, the systems in place – with the training and getting people prepared for that just don't seem to be – I mean, there just doesn't seem to be very many good coaches, period, right now. Now, again, I've mentioned before, like an Eric Bieniemy, no reason why he hasn't been hired. That's, kind of smells fishy to me in some ways. But at the same time, we don't know how the guy interviews. It's complex. It does require change, but I don't know the answer. I really don't.
Yeah, I agree, man. I mean, you know the most about football, out of us here. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I definitely agree. I just like the fact they're finally getting rid of like some of the racist shit, in the NFL. And the biggest thing, once again, is getting a black owner. So, Goodell, do the right thing. Everybody else support that. Do the right thing.
I will say, I mean, Chance, I know you mentioned it's pandering, but I think all these things are just major steps, at least compared to where we were, years ago. So even if it is, the action itself isn't necessarily a cure-all, but at least it's like an indication that things are starting to change.
They're trying. Exactly.
I hope, it seems that way at least.
Yeah. For sure, but something like that, it just seems like it's kind of just like a pacification. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's just like a pacifier. It's just like, all right, just, for now, this is what we're doing. Like, all right, you may or may not get the bigger, like the real food later, but for right now, just suck on this.
Yeah. But, you brought up a good point, Mike. We got to be positive. Like, I feel like 2020 has been a very fucked up year. We all can agree on that. But the silver lining is, I think, this year is a catalyst for, like, some great things to come. Like, in different, like, avenues.
Oh, for sure. We're in the second half. Like, we can't go nowhere but up. That's what I believe. You know what I'm saying?
The other part of the NFL and kind of a cultural change, or more of a 21st century culture, not culture shock, but the bringing things to the forefront where things are progressive, the way the NBA, if you look at somebody like Pat Mahomes, him getting that contract is a sign that, like, that's the face of the league.
Man, like, how are they going to pay Pat and not pay Dak? Like, come on, man.
Because Pat got a fucking Super Bowl, fool.
I know.
Fucking ring, nigga. And he light-skinned. Oh, they both light-skinned.
Well, but I mean, you look at that though, and you think, all right, he's there 10 years, damn near 500 million. Now, granted, you have
503, right?
To get that, but it's still a lot. And I mean, they wisely spread it out, so it's not going to hurt their cap too much. So that was good, good business on their side. But it also could change things quite a bit if he's the face of the league now. I mean, you saw Deshaun earlier this week was pretty vocal and, expecting conversations, and, he wants those challenging conversations from leadership because they want to see change. You get somebody like him, Mahomes, you already have it in the NBA. So if you continue to have the stars like that, honestly, it's a quarterback league, and I mean, people can say it's been a very white league, but, it's been very white quarterback heavy for many.
For the past 2-3 seasons,
it's changed.
It's changed for sure. I mean, we saw that before any of this season started.
Right. It's more to it than that, black, white, Hispanic, whatever. Like, we just got to play the sport, you know what I'm saying? Just respect when issues, like, go on, like, in the real world, like when Cap tried to stand out and do what he did. Like, respect the shit, don't shun people for doing it, for their beliefs or whatever. Like, that's all we talking about. We'll be for everybody. If it was an Asian trying to support, like, stuff that's going on in the Philippines right now, like, we're for that, So that's my thing. Just be for stuff that's, like, not right in the world,
Right.
Especially if it's been going on.
Hey, real quick, on Pat. So, I, like, posted this. I don't know if it's, like, accurate, Mike. You can do the math on it, but it's like a contract breakdown. So it's $503 million, 10 years. So that's $50.3 million a year. So a day, that's $137,808. An hour, that's $5,742. A minute is $96, and a second is $1.60.
Damn. Now, again, I did read that for him to get that, he'd have to get the MVP every year, and he'd have to win the AFC every year.
Wait, what?
That's
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Well, now
that's like
again,
a stipulation.
Well, but it's like he's going to make $470 million. For him to get 500, he has to do those things.
Which is ridiculous. So,
either way, I mean, $47 million a year. I mean, it's still
he's still
the way they paced it out. It's actually pretty clever. I don't have the details in front of me right now, but y'all should look it up. It was pretty.
I'm gonna look it up, man. But I take it one step further, man. Like Patrick Mahomes is very talented. He deserves it. Kudos to that man. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
pull those numbers up, Mike. Though pull those numbers up. You kind of got me interested now. Pull those up. And yes, I am proud of
477. I know that's the terms of the deal. They basically he had 2 years left on his rookie deal. They basically broke that and chopped it into like a 12-year extension, basically.
Okay.
That's kind of what it worked itself out to because they have him through 2031. So it's worth.
That's a long time from now. 2031.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing too is there's no trade clause, so they can't trade him unless he's gives them the sign off. But again, players have all the power now. What would happen first and more likely is him say, "I want to trade," but I can't imagine that would happen. You don't really see that happen in football. It's a basketball thing, but this could be the basketballification of the NFL. So,
yeah. All right. Let me ask y'all this. What y'all think his little girlfriend gonna do? Cause she not that she looks like she'll be like one of them crazy ones, man. Cause she like not that. I mean, she cute, but she like
I
but
think
for NFL girl, she kind of like a 7.5.
He's gonna get his own Sierra.
Yeah, maybe
that's next.
I think that she's gonna try to get pregnant for sure. As many times as she can to like
that's up next
bag,
That's her goal. She's like,
yep, no condoms, no birth control. Letting me.
It's like, give me that Super Bowl.
Give me that sperm.
Super Bowl of ball juice.
I remember that game. Fuck that game, though, honestly.
Yeah, I know, bro.
Moving on. In other news, Beavis and Butt-head making a return.
Yeah.
Now, we love Beavis and Butt-head. Chance and I grew up as Beavis and Butt-head, basically. So I'll go ahead and share this article with y'all. I didn't even know this. I think I saw this on, Twitter or something. Beavis and Butt-head returning with 2 new seasons and spinoffs at Comedy Central. So, hey, why not? It's cartoons. There's no cast. It's just Mike Judge, basically, right? So creator Mike Judge will oversee the updated series. Damn it, it's like giving all this epilepsy shit over here. Why do they keep flashing Fox News? We are thrilled to be working with Mike Judge and the great team at 3 Arts again as we double down on adult animation. Get the shit out of here.
Nah, Mike, let me try to hide your shit.
That's what it looks like for sure. I don't look at any politics, but you can't escape this shit, man. Like it's like everywhere. Yeah. Just like fucking take politics down your throat. I'm on Hollywood Reporter and they're putting this shit in front of me. We are thrilled to be working with Mike Judge and the great team as we double down on adult animation at Comedy Central. Beavis and Butt-head were a defining voice of a generation, and we can't wait to watch as they navigate the treacherous waters of a world light years from their own. So it's kind of a new take, and I'm guessing it's going to be in, modern days. So it's going to be, social media. They're basically Gen Z now. I'm thinking that's what it's going to be, and I hope that's what it's going to be because who's going to – I mean, we're all going to watch. I'm definitely going to watch this. But
well, what if it's just them, as they were – but they're just in our world now.
That's what I'm thinking and kind of hoping. I think that's the only way that kids today are going to pick up on that. Teens today are going to either think,
they still got to be
watched, or
they still got to be those Gen Xers.
Yeah, I think it'll be kind of cool if they had kids. You know what I mean? Some kind of way, since we can relate or they're married or some shit. That'd be kind of dope.
That would be funny if they had kind of grew up they were college.
Hey, remember they met their dads in the movie?
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing them
talking about their moms.
Yeah, I remember that. They were sluts.
Beavis and Butt-head Do America was a classic, man. If you kids haven't seen that or who's ever viewing right now, go watch that.
Dude, I remember when I first saw that, I was literally crying. Like when they bust open the door to the cockpit. What the hell are you doing? Man, I was in tears, dude. I remember watching that because they came back for a while, and I think in like what 2010.
Mm-hmm. Now, didn't it come back in like 05, 06, some shit like that?
It's got to be one of those. So it says it returned in 2011. So it went from 92 to 97, and then it came back 2011.
Really? Maybe they were just like on like random videos or some shit like that. Because I remember on like MTV2, they would like randomly come. Maybe it was just Beavis and Butt-head.
Could be.
Yeah, I think it was just like episodes of Beavis and Butt-head that just came on MTV2. Like
there were way more seasons than I realized, though.
Yeah.
Like I had the first 3 on DVD, but there was like 7.
Damn. Hey, you gotta pick them shits up.
I know. I gotta get them for sure.
Hey, me and Mike used to watch that shit like fucking like faithfully, like every day, like nonstop. Remember, you even had the game.
Yeah.
It was like a computer game and shit like that.
You just like walk around a campus. It was like I was like, how do you win this game? I don't know. Like it was like $10. I was like, why not?
Hell yeah, man. Like for real, we like kind of based our lives on that shit when we were younger.
Did. Way too much.
Like 10 and 11 years old. Like for real. We used to act just like that.
Let me guess. Chance, you were Beavis, and Mike, you were Butthead, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Basically, yeah.
Basically, hell yeah.
Audit.
Classic.
Yeah.
Now I want to go watch that shit. After this, that's what I'm gonna do.
Didn't Butthead do like cocaine on one of them or drugs or shit?
Oh, well, Beavis was the one that was like Cornholio, like cranked out.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I need TP for my vocal.
But it was like always something random though, like too much sugar.
Like it'd be like caffeine or some shit like that.
Oh, okay. It wasn't real drug.
Caffeine pills in the movie.
Oh, anal. I remember that.
All right, so this week we're getting a little bit we're doing things differently with random thoughts. So our random thoughts. Our random thoughts this week actually are all music related. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a little bit of a play it by ear for you all. We're gonna have a little bit of a segment here. If you want to hear the rest of the conversation, we're gonna do a Pop Smoke album cover, album
Breakdown.
review, and then album cover conversation as well, because there's lots of that. Obviously, you're gonna want to pay attention to play it by ear. That's gonna drop tomorrow. Make sure you pay attention. Follow, play it by ear, subscribe, all that. And then, so starting things out, Wash Us in the Blood. Kanye, Travis Scott released the single. I'm afraid to even play it because you know how YouTube loves to block shit.
Yeah.
But initial thoughts. Chance, we'll start with you because you seem to have the most like vocal.
Well, when it came, I think I was the first one to put it in like the group chat and shit like
You
that.
were.
So I think I was like the first one to see it, and I was like, ugh. Like that's how I thought. Like I don't know, man. It made my head hurt. Like for real. It blew my high. I think I was high and shit like that, and it like blew it. Like it just really threw me off when I heard it. And
How did it blow you?
it always sounds like I'm hating on Kanye and shit like that, but like, bro, his music has got progressively worse and worse and worse over time. And like, yeah, like sometimes the shit grows on me and shit, you know what I'm saying? But like this, like I even, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't go back and listen to this shit after like the first like 2 times I did. Like it's just, I don't know, man. Like I thought if Travis would have had like a little bit more of a part on the song, then maybe it would have been okay. But outside of that, man, it just it really kind of I don't know. It just threw me off.
What's with the video too? Look, I'll show some of the video.
Yeah, the video is actually kind of like it just looked like a fan made video and shit like that. Like
except for this shit, we're like, what is this about? This guy.
I don't know, man.
That shit honestly kind of like scared me. I was like, what the hell is going on? And then he's got the like all this. I'm guessing that's like,
bro,
you know.
Could you imagine watching this video and listen to this song while you like fucking shrooming or like tripping acid or fried out or some shit like that, man.
And it's got like the
fucking have a heart attack.
Fight video. Look, try to fucking block the YouTube shit. And they got this dude in the back. Look, he keeps watching the whole time. But, you know, I like the song too, though. I like the video. I like the song. I thought it was visually striking. Somebody jumped to, you know, I don't know. It's just catchy to me. I don't know.
Yeah. And Chance, you know, back to what you were saying as far as like his music getting progressively worse. I can see how some people feel that way. But one thing that I respect about Kanye is he's always trying to push the envelope to be different with something different. So I know a lot of people, oh, I miss him just doing like his old shit like all the time, but you don't really grow as an artist, continue just to stay the same, you know, like and you know, like his music may be an acquired taste now, but I respect what he's doing. As far as this song right here, I like it. You know, I feel like, yeah, Travis could have had a little bit more like, you know, shine time, but overall I thought it was a good like song, you know, like the message is good.
Well, so the other thing I wanted to pull up too was kind of like the Genius breakdown of it, right? So like, so, you know, obviously Wash Us in the Blood is kind of like a religious thing, you know?
Oh, for sure.
So if you pull up the explanation on Genius. All right, I'm going to pull it up here in a second. If you're viewing, you should see the lyrics on the side. So it serves as the lead single to his upcoming studio album, reportedly titled God's Country. The title points to his Christian faith. To be washed in the blood infers acceptance of Jesus Christ's sacrifice. The Bible talks about the cleansing power of Christ's blood in John 1:7. Kanye debuted an instrumental version during the premiere of his opera Nebuchadnezzar on November 24th, 2019. The record was later mentioned in his April 2020 GQ interview titled Inside Kanye West's Vision for the Future, where it was referred to as washed in the blood and described as having hard drums and Yeezus-like industrial horror noises. And I think that's kind of why I like it too, because I didn't like Yeezus when it first came out, but it really grew on me. I mean, we did one of the last play it by ears we did was a Yeezus listen. Yeah. Says on June 26th, he validated the song in a Twitter post and implied that the music video was directed by cinematographer Arthur Jaffa. In May 2020, he said that he had worked with Kanye on a video for his forthcoming album during a conversation with Michelle and me. It's from his new record. This will be the first single off it. I don't know if I'm supposed to not be announcing it, but yeah, it's from the new record. 3 days later, he confirmed the release of the song, the album's title on the Twitter post. The official video premiered the following day.
Right, and so that this brings it back to what I said earlier about the whole presidential thing. This is what it's for. You know what I mean? Like, this is what it's for, to promote this fucking album. You know? Some kind of way he's going to spin it and make it be about this. Watch.
Well, I mean, if you're looking for his campaign, this is kind of it, you know? I mean, this is kind of a call to action. He's saying, you know, there's like a lot of religious undertones like in the song, talking about, you know, the blood of the Lamb of Christ, you know.
Mike.
Mike.
I can't hear anything right now.
Yeah, your sound went out, man.
Yeah, I thought I was tripping. It's like my computer right up.
Can you hear me, Chuck?
I can hear you fine. Yeah, I can't hear Mike.
I can't hear Mike. I'm pretty sure he's still talking about Kanye. I wonder, can he hear us? He probably can't hear us either.
Damn. Mike. Nah,
Mike.
Y'all hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Lame ass technical difficulties.
Yeah, I know, right? It's all good.
I heard y'all when y'all were like, hey, it's not going. Y'all were like, Mike. And I was like, did I say something I shouldn't have said?
Nah, we couldn't hear you.
Anyway, we keep it raw in here. No edits.
No edits.
But, you know, just kind of going through like what I was saying. So what I was doing, I was saying, shower down on us. I was going, whole life being thugs, no choice selling drugs. I was just reading it off. And I thought Chance was going, huh.
Oh, hype you up.
I'm not spitting, like, what? And then all of a sudden I was like, wait, and then I paused. Anyway, what I was saying was, it talks about, basically all the hard times that, Black people are having to deal with. It kind of ties that into the song. And then, towards the end, execution 30 states still execute. He's talking about killing people. It's going to be kind of pushing, his religious message, which I don't think is a bad thing. Even though they say separation in church and state, I think people need a little bit more God right now. But I think that's what people might kind of gather and rally behind if they do actually kind of go and vote for him. This is going to be basically his platform, I feel like, So, I mean.
Right, and he's going to get like a lot of the younger votes. If people do take him seriously, it's going to be.
Yep.
But enough about talking about Kanye.
Just even us, I was just about to say, just even us fucking just coming back around to that shit, it just makes my fucking stomach hurt, man. Like.
But as far as country, the actual album.
No, but you're right though. Younger people will vote for him, and that's a fucking shame.
Yeah. But
I hope he just doesn't get on the ballot.
I will say the song, like the music itself, kind of plays like Yeezus, which is why I like it. I'm like, all right.
That's
cool.
what it reminded me of. Like, and like I actually liked Yeezus when it came out and shit like that. But I'm like, man, like I don't like how like Kanye goes from like shit from like the follow God shit, and then like back to like the weird like offset drums and shit like that. Like, I mean, bro, come on, fam. Like,
I like that he changes.
I like it. No, I like it though. I love that. Like,
I mean, like,
I like that.
To me, like, okay, y'all know how I said like it kind of like, I don't know, like gave me a headache and shit like that. It really, I don't know, it really kind of makes me angry. It's really kind of like it's subliminal. You know what I'm saying? Like how you said it's a call for action. Like it makes me want to go like do some like weird, like, you know what I'm saying? Some shit, like
you think,
and maybe that's just me.
You think,
but like, you said what? I'm sorry.
You think Kanye's like hypnotizing people to like do violence?
I mean, he could. He weird like that to where like that's possible.
I mean, that's the kind of message you would push it in, right?
I mean, yeah, right. Like, I mean, that's the type of shit. I mean, even in the video, like the images on the video and shit like that, it kind of seems subliminal.
But my thing is, yeah, you're right. But my thing is, he has no reason to be upset anymore. This nigga just hit $1 trillion. I mean, his company, you know what I mean? He just made like what?
With him, I don't even think it's about him being upset about anything. Like that's why I don't believe he has a movement and like it has any meaning. I think he just like does shit to do shit. You know what I'm saying? Like not like a troll, but like a dude that's like a weird, like a, what's that word? Like a demigod. It's like like someone that like they have like a fucking like a power. You know what I'm saying? But they don't even use it for like a good. It's just like they only use it because of they will the power. You know?
I got you. So you making it like Greek, and I love Greek mythology and all that shit. By the way,
I do too.
Yeah, so like I hear you about that. You know,
I mean, I don't know with him. Like I said, I'm a fan. Like I've been a Kanye fan since before. Like Kanye was cool. You know what I'm saying? Like when we switched it up to the polos, and you know what I'm saying? Like. And that was at the same time we were still like in between the jerseys and shit. Like I was rocking both, you know. But when I wore the polo, I was like, motherfuckers, you know, talk down. Like I was like, oh, you don't get it yet because you ain't on Kanye yet. You know what I'm saying? It's like I've been on that nigga since like 02, you know, 01, 02, you know, H to the Izzo type shit.
But the pop collars,
I like how his fans are now. It's like standing. It's like they're stands.
So.
And like his following is just they'll follow anything he does, you know. So if he's like, I'll vote for president, they're automatically gonna vote for him just because he's president. It's not even a black thing or a white thing. You know how like some people only voted for Obama because he was like black and they was black, you know. Mm-hmm. Like and they was just like, yo, this nigga got a good chance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's like not even like that. It's like, oh, I love Kanye. Take me, Jesus. You know, like it's that type of shit. It's like cult shit.
And to me, that's like kind of like false like idols and prophets. You know what I mean? Like when it gets to that level where you're worshiping somebody more than like God, I'm not down with that. You know, and I hope it doesn't get to that point. It's kind of already is like with people who don't.
The man calls himself Jesus. He's been doing it for fucking 7-8 years.
I think that actually was just a play on, just try to get like shock value personally, you know, because I listened to the Yeezus song like album for that reason at first. I was like, I'm not listening to this shit because it's like, you remember, you know, I was like, this shit's like, nah, I'm not about that. It's going against God and all that. I wasn't for it. But when I actually listened to it, I was like, you know, it's actually dope. And like the stuff that he was actually saying, it wasn't like he was like trying to like make himself be like on God's level or anything like that, you know?
Well, it was all about, you know, if I put this out, like it's about creating. Like Yeezus is, I'm creating new music. I'm creating, and I mean, it's definitely like, you know, cocky as fuck. But it's, you know, true to a certain extent. I mean, you look at 808s kind of gave birth to like Drake, J. Cole type of music.
The word I was looking for.
And then, you know, you look at like Yeezus, of course, that was kind of like that Travis Scott wave after that. So, I mean, to a certain degree, he's right. Now, yeah, blasphemy, it's a bit much, but, you know.
Okay. Yeah.
Dude always think, he didn't think the way we think things.
Did y'all know that Stop Trying to Be God was a Kanye diss?
I mean, I think a lot of people were dissing Kanye from his own like camp. If I'm being honest with you, even.
But I mean, like that particular song and why he used the word "Stop Trying to Be God."
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, that makes sense. I always took it just like chill. Don't try to do too much.
That's why I don't believe. I really think that Kanye with this "Watch the Blood," whatever the fuck the song called, with this shit, I think that he just had some old Travis fucking ad libs and just threw the shit on and was just like featuring Travis Scott.
Maybe.
And like he owned the ad lib, so like he could do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Possibly. I mean, that's not far-fetched chance. Nothing in 2020 is any like far-fetched to me with anything.
Because they don't even rock with each other like that no more. They don't.
I don't think they hate each other though.
The other thing too, though, because I mean, I'm looking at the Genius explanation. This is kind of what I remember reading about or hearing a lot about him early on, like when it was just rodeo.
Yeah.
How Travis Scott was just like a dick. Like nobody liked working with him. He wasn't agreeable. He was kind of a diva.
Chance, you said that. You said you talked to him or met him or something, right? You said he was kind of like a dick.
You said me?
Yeah. Remember, you had his number or something like that.
Like when he would call the studio and shit like that, you'd be like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't got no time. Like, he'd like just like straight up hang up, like type shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And like when I knew him before he was a superstar, like I didn't know him. You know what I'm saying? He was just like a kid that came over to play 2K with my little brother. You know what I'm saying? And like he was quiet and like just, you know, me, I'd come in talking shit. Who the fuck this little weirdo and shit like that? And, like he wouldn't even like laugh or say anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he never came off like dickish or anything like that. Like,
okay,
but I mean,
well, but you hear like when he got into music, it got to his head, and that's at least what this contributor says. You know, I mean, I'm not saying this is like the truth, but you know, it's kind of the song talks about the difficulties of being a successful artist and not developing a God complex. So in a way, it's kind of on the nose about, hey, look what you could be with Kanye. So, I mean, I don't think it's like a direct Kanye diss, but it's like talking to himself, but also saying, don't become Kanye.
Or
so it's kind of like, huh?
I said, don't become Kanye or what he was becoming. Because I think he kind of chilled out a little bit, you know?
Yeah, that's kind of the point. Now it's like, okay, now he blew up. He got to that next level. And I remember saying on the Mike Silva show, we did a freaking podcast about him at the time. And like, it was with my friend Ramiro, who's been in the music scene. And, you know, we're just kind of talking like, hey, he had a reputation as being a dick. And then
right.
I was like, man, I don't think he's gonna blow up if he keeps that going. And then, sure enough, now he's
I believe with Yeezus, I think that Kanye kind of like really just took his whole sound and just put it out. You know what I'm saying? And like put his, you know, like Kanye West on it. You know, like which I mean, that happens a lot in the music industry with producers and shit like that, especially with producers. You know what I'm
Well, he
saying?
wasn't on every song though.
But I'm saying like the whole like the music, like the production, shit like that, like the style, like
I think he might have
I
only
think
been
that,
on like 2 songs though.
but I think that was all like shit that Travis was probably working on. Kanye probably was just like, nah, these are on my hard drives, like, and you know, kind of just like took it and ran with it and Kanye it. Like,
Hey, Mike, man.
I mean, like all like everything Travis that we have is thanks to Kanye because he took him to Paris. You know what I'm saying? Like the fucking good music, the cold summer shit. You know, like all thanks to Kanye or whatever. But I don't think that they rock with each other like that nowadays, bro. Like even like with Sicko Mode, like that's a Kanye diss. You know what I'm saying? Like from Drake.
I don't even like look at it that deep. It probably was, you know what I mean. I was just trying to like as far as like enjoying the production of it, because when I like listen to music, I like the production and beats and shit. But yeah, Mike, you're actually the first person to put me on Travis at your apartment at the first apartment on Winsome, I think. Days Before Rodeo, a mixtape when he first was kind of blowing up. And so I don't know. I just feel like personally, I like the old Travis. I mean, I respect that, you know, the bigger you get, you're gonna change. But I just like that old like Days Before Rodeo vibe.
I did too. I did
classic.
too. But you know, it's weird because I feel like Astroworld has grown to be like my second favorite album of his, and they're completely different. At first, I was like, Astroworld's cool, but like I miss the old Travis Scott sound. But then it grew on me, but they're completely different, which is strange. But I mean, I like Rodeo a lot too, though. Rodeo is underrated. And I've been listening to Birds in the Trap a lot lately.
I think Astroworld and Days Before are more close to sounding together than any of his work that sounding alike. You know what I'm saying?
I guess the reason why I like
Astroworld just kind of have more of that like spacey sound and
right, exactly.
You know, like Days Before had
Days
more
Before was a little more trappy.
It's a little more Houston too. I feel like it's more like just like not Houston, but like
it was
more
eerie. Like it sounded like a Halloween time of the year. Like every song kind of had that like eerie, slow, like weird kind of beat to it. You know,
That's how
like
I feel about Astroworld.
Really?
It's just a little more. It's a little more colorful.
it's very much more colorful though. I think that's the big difference because I don't think it's like a little bit. I think it's like every
it's a little more neon.
Just like
neon python. Shout out to Riff.
I don't know. I think Astro more. I think like hippie Coachella vibes. Whereas I feel like with Days Before, it's more
Days Before,
like,
it's more
it's like,
grungy.
Yeah,
Lollapalooza, some shit.
like overcast. You know,
October.
Always, yeah, and it always comes out like late August, so it kind of leaks into like the fall when all his albums really start picking up. So
that was great.
I put you on Days Before, right, Mike?
I think, yeah, I remember you telling me his name, and I remember listening to it, and I was like, okay, I like
because
this.
I remember when I heard that shit, nigga, I was calling everybody and be like, oh my god, did y'all hear that shit? Like,
yeah,
because I remember like those were the early SoundCloud days, and I was chopping.
I remember you mentioned it, and then I heard it somewhere else, and I was like, all right, that's 2 people, I'll give it a listen, and instantly I was like, okay, I like this.
It's the classic for sure.
For sure. Because I remember that piff getting that shit. Because I was working at the studio.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, man. But with Kanye, man, going back to Kanye, because I think that's how we got all of this shit. Because it was featuring Travis. That's how we got Travis shit. But I don't know, man. The song, the video, I don't know. Me, I'm thumbs down. I give it 1 thumb down, 1 thumb up.
Okay, I'll give it thumbs up. What about you, Mark? And then we can.
Oh, thumbs up, both of them.
Okay, cool.
Both thumbs. Thumb in a butt.
All right. You want to hear the rest of this conversation? Make sure you tune in to Play It By Ear, dropping tomorrow. And with that, we'll jump into Let's Get Deep. Let's do it. All right. So the question that we have, and again, we just kind of gather questions from listeners, viewers. We have a bank full of questions just to kind of be our combo prompts. This week, let's get deep. Can you trust your significant other to be good friends with somebody that is single and attractive? And of course, that being somebody of the opposite sex. So of course, the same sex as you, you know. So if you're gay, you know, if you got a gay boyfriend, you know, would you want him hanging out with a, you know, another handsome, you know, whatever it is, or heterosexual, however, whatever lens. So, I mean, that's a good question.
It is.
I'll let you guys go first. I'm, of course, married. I'm in the most secure situation. So, I mean, it's different now. I know early
Actually,
on,
no.
might be
You go first.
No,
That's not. I mean, there's no such thing as a secured situation. Whatever.
I'll go ahead and start.
yeah.
You should go
That's cool.
first.
Can I start it first? Got to it off?
Jock, you go ahead.
All right, cool. Thanks, guys. But yeah, so as far as can you be friends with somebody that's? I think Janelle actually gave me this question actually, and my answer to this is
Damn, you just calling them motherfuckers out like that?
nah. Janelle's cool. That's the homie. Yeah.
She hopped on that one time.
Yeah, she did hop on. Yeah, exactly. And Chance was like giving her shit. But anyways, yeah. So I don't think you can actually be friends with somebody like close friends, like hanging out one-on-one. That's single, and because it's too much like temptation there. You know what I mean? Like it's too much stuff that actually can happen. Now, if it's like in a group setting, like y'all hanging out in a group and all that, I think that's fine. But it depends, right? So what I mean by that is like if you're hanging out with this person like a lot, like more than your significant other, that's a problem. You know what I mean? Like that's a problem. You shouldn't be hanging out with somebody more than like who you're actually with, you know, if you're with somebody, you know. That's just think about like me personally, I wouldn't want my chick hanging out with a dude that's attractive, you know, whatever, more than me, you know, because I figure, you know, one-on-one, because it's like what's actually going on, like why you're hanging out so much, like versus me and you. You know, it just doesn't make sense to me, you know. So if that's the case, nah, for sure, like that's not right, you know.
Yeah. So my take, I mean, I agree with you on that. I think there are certain boundaries that you don't cross. I'd say the more you're with somebody, the longer you're with them, the more you tend to trust them. Now, if you ever do something to lose trust, I feel like it's hard to ever get it back, you know. But if you have it and you've established it, it just gets deeper and deeper and deeper. Now, again, that's the hardest thing to build and the easiest thing to lose. But I feel like as long as you're doing your part, you're not stepping out of bounds, it just keeps getting stronger and stronger and stronger over time. I think a lot of that comes with, you know, being comfortable. Again, in the beginning of a relationship, you never know, you know, it's all about getting adjusted, understanding each other, and, you know, it's all compromise, right? So when you're 1st with somebody, you don't know how much they expect. You might know what they expect, but you don't necessarily know how much. You don't know how they feel about you. You don't know how you come off to them. Because, I mean, you know, but it's different because you're still getting used to each other as people. At first, you're in that honeymoon phase.
Exactly.
All that really matters is the relationship. You know, let's date, let's talk, let's do this, let's do that. Once you start to get to know each other on a personal level and you start doing hobbies together, when you're hanging out doing nothing instead of like events, like going on dates early in the relationship. That's when I think, you know, you really get to know the other person. I would say earlier in the relationship, if you're in that fragile state, not necessarily fragile state, but early enough where you're just dating, might not know each other on that personal level that deep yet, then yeah, you can kind of put yourself in dangerous situations, or you can see your significant other put themselves in dangerous situations.
You know what, Mike?
We're guys, so I mean, we know guys are almost always have an agenda.
All creeps.
Exactly. I was gonna say
always.
That. It's not that I don't trust her.
Yeah.
I don't trust dudes. You know, because
it depends on
no dude.
your
no niggas, especially
other, like kind of their personality too. Because I feel like if they're tough and like already kind of like bitchy, you know, they won't allow themselves to get in a tough situation. They'll just like, you know, push off of it.
Push off, right.
If they're very friendly, then those are the ones you're kind of like, well, you might not have any bad intentions, but you might end up in a situation where you can't really talk your way out of it. Now all of a sudden you have these guys that have agendas, have you in a precarious situation, things can go bad. So I would say it's not even so much the trust in the significant other, and you know, I mean, yeah, in the beginning, but I'd say the big thing is really just kind of trusting that they know not to trust guys.
Right, yeah, I agree, 100%.
Or just to like always be on guard. You know what I'm saying? Like in a way. Even if they do like consider that person a friend or like they've known that person longer than they known their significant other or whatnot, like I mean shit, like it's all right. But like sometimes I don't know, like if it's like some shit I even like when I was in a relationship, like my girl would go to like hang out with like girls' night or whatever.
Yeah.
But like they'll go hang out with like these dudes that are like their friends, And it's like, yo, I know these niggas, like, why can't I, you know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck is like, why you going? You know what I'm saying? Like, if like you're going to hang out with like your single friends and shit like that, it's kind of weird. You know what I'm saying? And so like, even though like I knew I had nothing to worry about, or like, I thought that, or it was all good. Like, it was just kind of weird. You know what I'm saying? Like like for me,
I think this too.
Me looked at them kind of weird just because of the actions that she was taking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I feel you on that. I think a lot of it too, though, is like if you're in a if her group of friends are all single, it's kind of tough. Most of y'all are single. Not so much anymore, but there were periods of time where y'all were single. So it's like,
right.
I get it because I'm hanging out with y'all. We're not really doing anything sketch, but if you find that like it's constantly she's only hanging out with her single friends and you're kind of left out of the loop, that's where it can be kind of like, hey, what's going on there? Like most of the time it's like, hey, this is what the guys are doing. Do you want to join? We know they're probably not going to say yes.
Yeah, nah,
but it's like, if you don't give that initial invite, then it's kind of like, are you trying to keep me away? Like, what? I do feel you on that.
Yeah.
I feel you too.
And that's usually how it. Well, that's how it was for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, just like the personal, example that I can kind of give or whatever. And but like, real talk, if you're confident in yourself and like your relationship, you really ain't got nothing to worry about. Yeah. But like, as long as that shit don't get excessive,
Yeah.
Because it's like, like, you spending more time with that person than me. Like, what the fuck is up? You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. Like, it shouldn't. My thing is respect. Respect and transparency. Like you said, Mike, just you don't have to let like a person know all the time, but like, hey, this is what I'm about to do. You can come or not, but I'm just letting like it's being transparent. If you're like not letting like plans know at all, especially if you're out together and you're being sneaky about stuff, that's a problem. You know what I mean? Like that's the issue, especially when you find out they're hanging out with like their single guy friends.
And,
you know what I mean?
And that could be like with anything too. Like I mean, they could be like going more to the gym or some shit. Spending more hours with their personal trainer or shit like that. Hanging out with the kid that they mentor, like Jada Pinkett was doing.
Oh yeah. Oh
yeah. That was supposed
I pulled it up.
Like,
I'm glad you mentioned that. So, Jock, you said let's bring this up. I'll let you intro the idea, and I got the article up.
Yeah, I did. So I don't know if you guys have been keeping up what's going on. Well, what's been going on in the world. But it's an artist by the name of August Alsina. Y'all know him. You have to hit. I love this shit.
Nigga look like Sideshow Bob now.
Right. Yeah, his hair is crazy. But so it was he had a recent interview with Angela Yee, about an hour long or so, and she asked him the question like, "Hey, August, you always been kind of quiet on, who you actually dated or who you had relations with. Do you mind shedding light on that? Pretty much." And he was like, "You know what? I just want to like live my truth and like get it out there." And then he dropped the bomb and said like, me and Jada actually like had a secret relationship, which is crazy. It was already kind of alluded to, but nobody didn't really. It was kind of like rumored, right? But he said it out of his own mouth, like, nah, it's like we were together. And the crazy part is, he said he actually went to Will Smith and sat down, and Will gave him his blessing, like, hey man, like you have my blessing. And
Will a cut.
Right. And so I'm just like, dang. So like, what I think happened is that, they are in an open marriage. We all know that, Will and Jada. And I think that she just wanted to fuck around with August Alsina. She probably thought he was cute and attractive and just wanted to like fuck him strictly, right? But August ended up catching feelings and like really falling in love with her type shit. So he probably wanted to take to another level. And she was like, nah, like I'm not trying to do all that.
Like, nah, nigga, I got a family.
And he's exactly by it.
Yeah, right. And so she probably she probably dropped him or told him like to chill out.
Friendly
He got
looking
mad,
man.
couldn't deal with it, you know, because in the interview, if you guys watch it, he really loved her. Like, I loved her. He even said this, guys.
Yeah, that
He was
nigga
like,
caught feelings.
There it is right there.
right. He even said this.
But
He's
how
like,
could you not?
no, that's Angela Yee. But like, so he even said in the interview, because I watched the full interview. She was like an hour long. I watched the whole thing. He even said
Damn,
that,
boy.
yeah, because it was interesting. He said that if he were to die today, he would be happy in life knowing that he gave his full love to somebody. Now, I don't know if he actually meant that or if let's keep in mind.
It
he
says
does have
it here.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Gave
See,
himself to that relationship for years
Right.
of his life, and he truly and really, really deeply loved and had a ton of love for her.
Yep. So
Now,
it's crazy.
she said absolutely not true.
I mean, if you somebody boy toy,
There's some
like,
healing that
shit.
needs to
Oh,
happen.
he said boy toy. That's what it was, Chance. That's all it was in her mind, you know?
Yeah, to him, like he may have been in love, like they may have had like a relationship, but to her, he was probably just fucking Tuesday.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yep. That's the whole point I'm making. Exactly. But he caught feelings. He fell in love and then bam, you know?
And there's
That's why, man, like that's why like relationships got to be like deeper than like sex.
Yeah.
Like it has to be like more than that. Like real talk, like now being grown, like I couldn't really just fuck nobody, and you know what I'm saying? Like, not. I mean, I could, but like I don't know. Like I'd seem like an asshole because you know I wouldn't want to be in that type of shit. So
Yeah, it's just drama, bro. Like the older we get,
Yeah.
we realize like it is emotional.
we'd have to have a fucking
Connection.
talk.
Exactly, and it's more of a connection, right? So I just thought that was actually interesting that, you know, it kind of ties back to everything that we're talking about. Can you trust your significant other being with somebody single that's attractive? You know, and we brought up, you know, Mike, you brought up the whole point that it's not about trusting them. It's just about the whole, like everything else, like around the situation, you know? But I thought that was interesting, man. Like, you know, it just, you can trust your significant other all day long, but just the other person. And this is a perfect example. Will trust Jada, of course. If he gave his blessings, like, you know what, they do it all the time. Whatever, if you want to fuck him, cool, whatever. But Will probably didn't know this nigga would be this messy or, you know, like drama behind that. So I'm sure he's probably, I'm sure he's probably
He seemed like a messy ass nigga.
Exactly. And so Will's probably mad, like, why you bring this messy ass nigga in my house, you know, in our house around our family and shit. Like, I thought y'all had an understanding, and now he's airing out our dirty laundry type shit, you know?
Well, this is right after the whole who's the YouTube guy that made some weird comments about Willow? Did y'all see that?
No.
I didn't see that.
What was this? Some kind of a weird thing. And this is like, you know, their family's always in the news, you know, like.
Unfortunately, yeah. I like the Smiths.
They some weirdos.
Yeah, it was like this dude Shane Dawson. I guess he was YouTube. They found some old post he had from a long time ago where he was like talking about that song she put that was like whip her hair.
I whip my hair back and forth. I whip my hair back and forth.
He was like 14 or 13.
Yeah.
Now
that guy's basically like cancel culture, you know, but like that's weird talking about kids, man. Like if you cancel people talking about kids, I'm not making any argument for them.
Right.
Cancel culture for what? For whipping her hair back and forth?
Nah, it was like he made some kind of like sexual comments about it, and she was like 14 at the time.
Yeah, that shit's not cool at all. And you know, speaking of that, what's up with these fucking pedophiles, bro? Like, I will never understand that people always making comments about younger chicks or women. That shit is like gross, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like Epstein, for example. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to get into that, but it's just like shit just gross, bro. Like, what makes y'all attracted to that, to like a young girl, you know?
Dude, I don't know, man. There's some
I don't fucking
weird
know, man,
people
because
out
I like
there.
grown ass women.
Everybody should. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody should, you know? But just,
I don't know what it is. I must like chicks that's even older than me. I be going for the MILFs and cougars. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I'm with you on that, though. As I've gotten older too, you think about like when you're 16, you look at like, peers, and then you look at the ones that are younger than that, you're like, oh, they look young. There are like 22, 23-year-olds now that I see that I'm like, that looks like a child. Like it's crazy.
Exactly. It's a kid, bro. Literally.
Yeah, like normally your frame of reference changes, but it's not like that for everybody. I mean, some people kind of have problems.
It goes back to daddy and mommy issues. Like I get that, but it's just get fucking therapy. Like if you know also somebody has an issue, try to help them like seek help. You know what I'm saying? Because that shit's not. They're just gonna prey on somebody else. When they get older or whatever. So I don't know, man. It's just crazy. Like that shit upsets me. Like when I see that, like every time. So fuck that guy that made the comment to Willow.
Yeah, weird shit, man.
Yeah. Also, like keep at it with the Black Lives Movement, like for the right reasons. Keep, signing petitions. Vote. Go vote. That's very important. You guys, July 14th is when it's going to start. So if you can't vote early, please go do that because that shit is very important and it matters. Do your research as well. And that's all I got.
Chance, any final shouts?
First of all, shout out to y'all, man. Like, I'm glad we still like got this going. You know what I'm saying? Because this shit like therapy to me. I love just chopping it up with my niggas and shit.
Yeah,
and now that we can have these this platform, we can have these conversations with the world. You know what I'm saying? Because this is just us talking. It's just how we do and shit. So, man, shout out to y'all. I appreciate y'all niggas and shit. Also, man, like we got some big shit coming. I know I say that shit like every fucking episode, but I really feel like this half of the year is gonna be way better than the last. Like we just gotta fucking adjust. You know what I'm saying? Keep it moving. Everybody, stay vigilant. Watch yourselves. But man, try to have fun. Like with what you can do. I know it's hard out here for everybody.
And Chance, you bring up a good point, bro. Like it's a lot to take in with social media, the news. So if you guys have to like unplug and unwind and just not see that for a couple of days or weeks, do that. Go outside, go skate, ride bikes, whatever.
Yeah, that shit helps. That shit helps for sure.
Yeah,
sure.
It helps. Definitely.
I mean, y'all know me. If any of the people on the pod, like listen back, shit. It was a time where I was like not on there for a minute. Like it was just like I had to unplug from like not only like doing this type of shit, but like every fucking thing. Like, cause I don't know, man. Getting caught up in like the social media shit, like sometimes it's overwhelming.
It is, man.
It is for sure.
So like watch us, but take a break from everything else.
Yeah. I mean, we talk deep shit here and there, but we try to keep it lighthearted. We're all funny dudes, funny fellers. So reach out to us. Best way to contact us will be on social media at the Rep Network. That's going to be on Twitter and Instagram. Facebook, you can find us on the Facebook page at Repertoire TPN, as in Repertoire, the podcast network. And then, of course, if you go to therep.network, you'll find all of our links for Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, for both Don't At Me and Play It By Ear. So as always, thanks for listening in, and we'll talk to y'all next week. See you.